Could you talk a little bit about some of the tangible impacts your work for Ukraine has had so far?
I would say the tangible impacts of our work are twofold. I think number one is we have created a lot of awareness here in Taiwan of our actions of Ukraine, of the support of Ukraine. And number two, we have collected quite a bit of money. Our organization, I think, has passed definitely north of 500,000 NT at this point of the money we've collected through various fundraising causes. One thing we've done is we helped a small factory in the west of Ukraine buy high-grade sewing machines that they're using to produce uniforms and protective gear for territorial defense forces. We also worked with somebody in the Mariupol area. Somebody is here, but is from there, to distribute altogether, I think, more than 1 million NT in aid to families fleeing Mariupol, to refugees, in small grants, about 3,000 NT per family.
Why have some Ukrainian activists in Taiwan decided to work outside of the official government platforms in sending donations to Ukraine?
Early on, when the Ministry of Foreign Affairs had a very successful fundraising drive, they have earmarked a lot of that money for refugee organizations in Europe, working through the partner governments that Taiwan has already had relationships with, which I think was the best they could have done at the moment on short notice. But for us, for Ukrainians here, I think we really wanted the aid to flow to Ukraine directly, because that's where people are in the most need and need the most help. So we both worked with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to actually help them find ways to deliver some of their aid directly to Ukraine, and also started working on a lot of our own efforts through the Taiwan Stands with Ukraine organization and through some personal projects that Ukrainians in Taiwan have been working on, to really find ways to send help directly to Ukraine, to smaller organizations on the ground that we know through our community and we trust.
Are you concerned at all that attention fatigue toward the war in Ukraine is setting in? And if so, how do you plan on combating this?
Absolutely, and it's absolutely exhausting. What we plan to do is we plan to continue protesting and putting on events to keep Ukraine in the news, generate as much social media and press here in Taiwan as possible to make sure that people just have the news coming from Ukraine, and they know that the war is still going on and the help is still needed.